Hello and welcome to another Midwest EV video. My name is Caitlin. If you're new here, welcome. If not, we're sorry for not posting. If you can't tell by the title, we were in an accident. And for those of you who haven't been following our channel, or maybe you just didn't catch up on it, this is the second accident that the Volkswagen ID.4 First Edition has been in. So this video that I'm using to edit today, we recorded back in June of 22. The accident happened June 5th of 2022, and Arai will go in and explain a little bit of that. But we initially were planning to record the process of it and the entire body shop, collision center, working with Volkswagen to get parts, supply chain, that kind of stuff. But it quickly turned into a very sensitive topic, and we just haven't we really haven't had the mental capacity to record this video for you guys. So again, I'm really sorry. Summer heat, summer weather is perfect for EVs, and we were so excited to record more videos about the ID.4 First Edition. And this is our first summer having it, but we just got the Volkswagen back at the beginning of September. So we didn't have it all throughout the summer. Still have not had it for a summer yet. It's fine. Let's give you a little bit more information from when we recorded back in June, and then I'll come back and explain more. Hi guys, it's Caitlin and Arai here with Midwest EV. We're just gonna do a quick little update for you guys. So right now we're in downtown Chicago. We're heading to a Chicago Fire game. But since our last videos, we have had some updates for you guys and some things going on, so...
To say the least. Yeah, so we unfortunately were involved in our second accident with the Volkswagen ID.4. If you recall from a previous video, I mentioned how I was rear-ended at a red light, and unfortunately that happened again. I was stopped for 10 seconds. I've got dash cam footage to prove it. I actually just got a better dash cam, coincidentally. It was a Nexar 1 pre-order from a few months ago. That'll be another video I'll do on that. And I've been really enjoying that so far. But yeah, we were stopped, first car at red light, coming off a really bad off-ramp in Milwaukee at Van Buren Street, right off 794, if you guys know that intersection. So we were the front car. There's a Subaru Legacy parked behind us. Or not parked, but stopped behind us at the light, and then some drunk driver came in with a big GMC Sierra pickup truck, totaled the Subaru, and then the Subaru went into our back. I'll put a picture here so you can kind of see the aftermath of what the car looks like. So obviously we are driving the car right now. I had the car at the body shop for a week while they dismantled some things because the bumper was hanging really low to the ground, so I didn't think it was highway safe. But yeah, so they actually made it look pretty good. You can see the picture here, I'll insert as well. They wrapped it up in some tape, and maybe they cut the pieces. I don't know entirely what they did. Looks like they have an event going on at Millennium Park. Don't know what this is. Oh, it's an art fair. Gold Coast Art Fair. Oh, cool. So yeah, we're just heading to Soldier Field. We just want to give you a little update. So another update, we now have a home charger, which is awesome. It was kind of something I was, looking at in a new place, because that'd be much more convenient than sitting at the DC fast chargers. We have actually not used the DC fast charger since, so we moved into our new apartment on June 1st. We got into the accident on June 5th. So in those few days before, we haven't, we didn't get an opportunity to use DC fast charger. And then my work is thankfully a short electric scooter commute away. So I rented an Unagi scooter. Yeah, so I've been using that to get to work, and while the body shop tried to figure out and hopefully make this car drivable, because I really did not want a gas rental, because most insurance companies will not reimburse gas, even if you had an electric car. And I know that's a fight you can make, but it's just a lot of hassle. So we've got lawyers involved, all that stuff. But yeah, so that's where we're at right now. That was my phone, or Caitlin's phone, buzzing there. What else did I miss, Caitlin? So
yeah, Arai did not touch on any of the good things that have happened. So the last video that we have is part 2 of our Minnesota trip. We haven't really filmed since then because we've been so busy with Arai's graduation from the University of Wisconsin-Milwaukee. So we celebrated that on May 22nd. We moved out of our our apartment where we had the off-street parking May 31st. We moved into our new apartment on June 1st, and then Arai started full-time at his new official job. So that's all been the good things going on.
Yeah, there's a lot of good stuff, and obviously, you know, if you considering the accident, you know, this stuff just happens to me. Like I mentioned in previous videos, I've had a car stolen, had a car in between that car and this car hit and run. It's just kind of a lot of mess with cars. So unfortunately, I've come to realize the important things, and the important things is that nobody was severely injured. Our friend was in the back seat of the ID.4 and suffered a concussion. Unfortunately, she had a hair clip in her back, and it's like smashed, and she whiplashed against the seat. So that's a bummer, but ultimately we had some aches and pains and stuff, but nothing too serious. So that's obviously what's important. Yes, I'm very happy to have graduated from UW-Milwaukee with a degree in information science and technology and double minors in business and psychology. Very happy to work for the company I'm working for in downtown Milwaukee as well. Definitely feel like I'm treated well there and all of that. A lot of good stuff. It's been crazy. What is today? The 18th, right? I think today's June 18th. Yeah, today's June 18th. So the last month, you know, had to finish up school. Graduation May 22nd. Moving out of our old apartment into the much nicer new apartment. Now we have dedicated parking spots instead of street parking, and my parking spot has got an EV charger, which is amazing. So we left today, just as an example, I'll give you for this trip, and we'll kind of show you what the range has been looking like. It's about 70 degrees here in Chicago right now. Which is the ideal temperature for a battery. So since we charged, I'm just gonna look at my screen here, we have been averaging 3.7 miles per kilowatt hour since Milwaukee all the way to here. Average speed was 28 miles an hour. We did take the slow way down, so that's probably why our range is a little bit better. We did the scenic route, like we took Sheridan Avenue down and all of that. So we're just getting to Soldier Field here, and I'm trying to get over. But yeah, we've been having some fun. That includes highway speeds, about like 75 miles an hour too. So it says that, wow, this is the highest range estimate I've ever seen. So we charged it to 100 last night just to see and make sure we can get home, and because we're used to winter range, so we just like to make sure. But we have traveled 106 miles since 100%. We are currently at, let's see, 62% state of charge, and the car is still calculating 179 miles remaining, which is truly just amazing. Go ahead, guy. There you go. There's our Midwest wave, you know. So yeah, so what is that? Let's do some math real quick. That's 285 miles of range. That's ridiculous. That is the highest. So the answer to the video title, do 2 car accidents cause a decrease in range?
No.
Doesn't look like it. I think the battery's been fine for these. We're just gonna figure out how to get in this parking lot here. One other thing with the accident is that the sensors in the back are busted now because of the rear end. So our rear parking sensors don't work. Our blind spot monitor on one side is very iffy right now. I've been through the repair process once with the car already.
We just didn't have the YouTube.
We didn't really have the YouTube channel set up at that point, so that took about 3 months to get a whole new tailgate. So we're going to see if the supply chain has gotten any better since September 2021. It is currently June 2022. So we will see. I'm going to cross my fingers. The body shop said they had some parts that had ETAs and some parts that just don't. And usually, given my extensive experience getting this car repaired once, I would not anticipate having this car fixed before the end of the summer, but we will see. Which is a bummer, because that's when you want to show off your car and all of that. Now I've got this, you know, tape and spray paint and stuff on the back that makes the car look a little tacky, but ultimately what's important is that I'm able to drive it and not pay for gas prices, and that everybody is safe and sound. So I'm just very happy to have it still, and that if this thing got totaled, it was the only car that did not have the airbags go off too. That's one other thing I forgot to mention. So I think that shows the weight and the, you know, bulkiness of the car. I mean, the other 2 cars were totaled and mine was fine. I know I was the front car, and that's usually the one that has the least damage, but I'm surprised the airbags didn't go off with the speed these drunks were driving at.
Okay, I'm back. Let's get into it. So, quick timeline. Arai purchased the Volkswagen ID.4 First Edition September 3rd of 2021. He purchased it from Volkswagen of Gurnee, located in Gurnee, Illinois. He got into his first rear end accident. 2 weeks later, he did not even have the physical new registration for his car yet, and he got into an accident. What happened was he had to stop behind someone who abruptly decided to turn left, and the person behind him was not paying attention and full-on rear-ended him, going about 30-ish miles per hour. They were uninsured, and so Arai had to go through suing his own insurance company. He had to hire a lawyer for that, and whole thing, there at that time, tailgates in the entire world, there were 7 Volkswagen ID.4 tailgates that needed to be ordered, and they only had 3 of them. So right off the bat, we had to wait a couple months for a new tailgate. This accident, thankfully though, we were still able to use the ID.4 and drive it, so that was fine. Some of the sensors, I believe, didn't work, but overall, Arai was okay. The car was drivable. We finally reached a settlement. The lawyers and the insurance company did. End of August of 22, so it took almost a full year to get that settlement, but everything is good. The car was ready to go. We drove it all throughout the winter. It was great. And then, like we were mentioning too, Arai graduated college. We moved into a new apartment. Everything was going great. And then June 5th, we got rear-ended again. This one, obviously, as you can tell from the pictures in the video, is a lot more serious. There were 2 vehicles totaled in the accident, and then our vehicle, you can see the entire back left of the car absolutely destroyed. The Subaru behind us totaled. She was okay. She ended up going into the ER later that night for airbag burns, and then just a soreness of the neck. She started going to the chiropractor, which Arai and I did as well. The truck that contained the drunk driver and the drunk passenger, they did not seek medical attention. I don't know whatever happened to them. We didn't get any of their contact information. We found out, thankfully, they were insured, but that's kind of where the sore subject has been for us. So they were very drunk. I don't even think they understood completely that we were in the accident as the first vehicle at the stoplight. But she, who was driving, the girl was driving, she was arrested at scene for an OWI. Now we have found out that she did not own the car. It was the passenger who was riding with her. He's had an OWI before, but this is her first one. There also was a possession of THC and a possession of an illegal firearm that she is charged with now. So I believe at the moment she's still going through the court system. I'm not sure if Arai and I or the girl in the Subaru will be called to testify at all, but that's kind of where everything is all over the place. Like I said, the 2 cars were totaled, so the Subaru and their truck was totaled. I didn't even look at the front of the truck to see what had happened, but it appears that the passenger didn't have his seatbelt on and cracked the windshield, and then they also had both of their airbags deploy. And so besides that, I mean, it was a terrible situation, a terrible day. We had just gone to Costco because we had not purchased anything from Costco for over 2 months with moving, and we had no groceries. We had $700 worth of Costco in our trunk because we had dog food. We had I got a new speaker for our place. We had a friend with us and she got like $100 worth of stuff. So we had so much stuff from Costco in our trunk that we could not access because the Subaru was attached to our vehicle. The tow truck actually came and they had to rip apart the Subaru and the Volkswagen ID.4. At that point, myself and then we had our friend with us in the Volkswagen, we got into a Uber, and the Uber driver is absolutely amazing. He let us load all of our groceries in. He gave us time to unload the groceries into our new apartment, get everything situated. Our friend ended up having a concussion. She went into work the next day. She was a barista at the time, and she just could not stand the noise, the lights, and had to go in halfway through the day to the ER, was diagnosed with a concussion, and then she was out the rest of the week. Arai was able to drive the Volkswagen home, but there were a lot of things that were just dangling out the back of the car, so we did not feel comfortable taking it outside the city of Milwaukee. We called our insurance. The insurance sent a tow truck to tow it to their collision center, and after a day or two, Arai had not heard anything, so he called them, and they were like, oh yeah, we got the Volkswagen, but we don't work on EVs, so we can't do this. So then it was a whole situation of trying to figure out where we could take the car that would accept the EV, accept the insurance, and thankfully Marshall Auto Body, I believe Collision Center, Marshall's Collision Center in Waukesha, Wisconsin took it, and they're Tesla certified, and they had never worked on the ID.4 before. They usually don't work with our insurance, but they said they wanted experience with the car, so they took it in. They brought it in, they ordered parts right away, and it was good to go. So at that point then, we did not have a loaner vehicle, and it was just my Prius, but my Prius does have 160,000 miles on it now, and at this point in the summer, gas prices in the United States were starting to rise really quickly, and neither of us had budgeted for the amount of gas that we would need for the amount of driving we do in the summer. I mean, we're down in Chicago every weekend, every other weekend. It's just a lot of driving. So Arai asked if there was any way we could get the Volkswagen for one more weekend, and we did. The body shop taped it up like you saw in the video, like you saw in the pictures. We were able to drive it to Chicago safely there and back, and then we brought it back to the collision center. From there, they were not able to work on it for at least a month to get parts in. They ordered a tailgate, and the tailgate that came in was busted, so they had to order a second tailgate. All of the parts arrived by the mid to end of July, and then they just had to take it apart, assemble it. They had a couple of extra clips and a couple extra parts they had to order in August. That all went through, and then they had to bring in someone to depower down the entire vehicle, and they didn't have anyone who was capable of doing that, at least because, like I said, they have not worked with an ID.4 before, so they had to bring in a technician for that. He had to then reprogram the sensors in the back, so we lost both of the blind spot monitoring sensors, we lost the backup camera, any sort of backup sensors, all of that had to be replaced. And so again, they had to bring him in, he had to do all that, worked out great. We were able to pick up the car. Arai had just noticed a few things that were maybe just misaligned in the back. They were able to figure it out, and we drove home. Volkswagen is home. It is great. Like Arai mentioned in the video, we have a home charger, and we're able to use it again. We did have a Cadillac, and then we also had a Toyota Corolla, I believe. I don't remember what the Cadillac was, but I just remember we did call it the Cadillac Equinox because it looks like the Chevy Equinox. That's besides the point. We spent way too much money on gas because we had the Cadillac, and it got maybe 30 miles per gallon, which is still pretty good for an SUV. It just doesn't beat the free charging that we get at our new place. The total cost for the ID.4 was $15,774. Thankfully, we were insured, the Subaru was insured, and the drunk drivers were insured. So our lawyer, ironically, which is the same lawyer that Arai was working with for his first accident, he is able to go about making sure that we're suing the right insurance company, that we're getting everything paid for. We're not sure on if we're able to get our gas paid for, but I know he's going to bring it up to them as well. We're still going through the court system. We've been contacted a couple times by the state of Wisconsin just about the case. Usually, though, we just refer them to our lawyer and they have to talk to him. It's a big mess. I'm really, really sorry that we have not produced any content for you guys. It has been such a rough summer. Arai and I ended up both getting COVID for the first time this summer as well, and that hit us like a truck. Thankfully, both of us are vaxxed and double boosted, so it wasn't terrible, but it still put us on the couch for a day or two and we couldn't work. What else happened over the summer? That's about it, really. Yeah, the big thing was Arai's graduation, moving in. I got COVID the same week that the accident move-in happened. Arai got COVID the week after Independence Day here in America, so that's July 4th. Yeah, the only big news that I have right now is we have had the Volkswagen for a full year now. It is and past September 3rd, 2022. So Arai is planning on doing a 1-year review. We're still getting used to the car again, honestly. The range when we got it back was ridiculous. It had like 280 miles on the guessometer, and that's just because it was never moved. At most, they drove it around the parking lot at the collision center, and so the guessometer was all out of whack. We just are still getting used to it. We drove back from Chicago last week, and we had 1%, 1 mile remaining. When you looked at the actual OBD meter, we had 0.25% and like 400 and some kilowatt hours left in the vehicle. So again, we're just so excited to have it back. There's gonna be more content. We're gonna have a year review. We also now have a 2022 Pro S all-wheel drive Volkswagen ID.4 that Arai's dad actually had put in an order for last October, and he got it in August, right before we went on a big family trip to Turkey, actually. That happened too. Anyway, we're good. The car's good. We're gonna be posting more content. We're gonna try and get some more videos with other EVs going on, and I personally am going to be starting a series where I'm going to go and interview different people throughout the Midwest on their EV experience, their home charging, what they would give for advice, what they would recommend for people who are leery about switching to EVs, all of that fun stuff. So thank you guys so much for sticking around. I really hope you understand everything that's been going on. It's very frustrating. And again, if you like this content, if you want to keep helping us grow this channel and teach people about EVs, please make sure you subscribe to our channel, turn on that hit that notification button, and get notices when we do post videos. I am primarily going to be the one that is going to edit and upload videos, so I'm hoping to have that on a more consistent basis. We'll see though. If something happens, obviously we'll let you guys know. But thank you again so much. Be sure to check us out on all of our social media as well. I usually post on TikTok regularly and Instagram. But we appreciate you all. Thank you guys so much for sticking around and not forgetting us. Catch you on the next one. Bye, guys.